Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today's tutorial will be on how to make this beautiful cowl neck top without pattern. So guys, the first thing first we're going to be doing is to cut out the back piece. Then we're going to be using this back piece to cut out our front piece. Alright, so I went ahead to fold my fabric into two. The fabric is on a fold of two. So the next thing I'm going to insert now is the full length of my gown top. How long do you want your top to be? Okay, so mine will be at 26.5 inches. All right, you can decide to make it shorter, you can decide to make it longer. The choice is totally up to you. Okay, I'm working with 27 inches. All right, let me adjust my camera, sorry. So now, having marked the full length of my top, I'm going to go ahead and insert my shoulder measurement to that line, to that starting line. Okay, so from there I'm going to come down by 1 inch, which is my shoulder slope. Then on this start line again, I'm going to be marking 3 inches, which is my neck width. Then I'll go ahead and connect these two together. Okay, so having done this, the next thing I'm going to do now is place my tape back to my shoulder slope line, insert back my shoulder measurement. This is serving as my armhole. So this is my 7.5. Go ahead and divide it into two to get the midpoint of your armhole. This is the midpoint. Place your tape back this way. Come in by 1/2 inch. You're trying to create a shoulder slope. So from here, connect to this point. Then from here, curve it into your armhole. Alright. So now coming to this, you insert your bust measurements plus seam allowance. This is your chest line. I'm not marking the waistline or hip line because I'm not working with those ones. So from here, I'm going to glue this to the bottom. So if you want to insert your waist measurements and not the rest of the, what you do is place your tape back to your start point line, mark 16 inches. This is your waist measurement at 16. Insert your waist measurement. I don't want mine to be fitted on my waist, I just want it to be free. So my waist measurement is 7 plus seam allowance. This is if you want it to be fitted. So from here now, drag it to the bottom part of it, then go ahead and cut it out. Then throughout this bottom part, now the next thing I'm going to be cutting out here is my neck width, my neck depth. So for the back, the neck depth is going to be 2 inches. All right, now go ahead and make a curve. Then trim it down. So this is what I have. Okay, so I'll be using this to cut out fold my fabric in a bias form. This is like a triangular form, all right, just like the way you want to cut your fleet gown or your fleet top, the way you cut it. All right, so this is my material on a fold, on a bias fold. All right, so now I'm going to bring my back piece. I'm going to be placing it on top. Now I'm placing this, the upper part of my top, towards this area that is large, not the smaller part of the bias. Okay, so this large form of it, so that's where I'm placing it. So I'll go ahead and place it this way. All right, so now I'm going to pick up my tape and measure from the neck width, from here to the center point. You can decide to work with 13, 14, depending on how deep you want it to be, but I'll be working with 12 inches. Then if you want it to be smaller, if you don't want the opening to be deep, you can decide to work with 8 inches, which is totally fine. Okay, so I have 11 and a half here. Okay, I know this 11 and a half. Okay, now I have 12 inches, so I'll go ahead and trace it out. So now kindly note that I'm not having a zipper on this top, alright, because there is no need for the zipper. Then another thing is, this front part is folded. I place it towards the folded edge, not the open part of the fabric, alright. The folded edge, that's where you place it. So go ahead and cut it out. So now the next thing I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be notching this particular point, the shoulder point, for easy identification while sewing. Okay, so I'll go ahead and notch this. So this is what I have. We'll go ahead now to cut out our sleeve. When we're done with the sleeve, we'll now move ahead to stitching our top. Okay, now so we're going to go ahead and cut out our sleeve. First thing first is to mark the full length of our sleeve. Alright, so I'm working with 25 inches for my full length, which is here. Alright, then I'll go ahead to mark my biceps line, which is at 4. Okay, then on this point I'm going to be inserting my bust measurements plus seam allowance, and I have 11. Okay, so now I'm going to be connecting it to my start points, my sleeve start point. This is what I have. This is where this is stopping. So from here I'm going to be connecting it to the bottom part of the bottom part of the sleeve. I don't know if you can see it clearly. Yeah. So the bottom part will be having an elastic. Okay, so now I'll go ahead and cut it out. Then notch the center. So now the first thing first I'm going to do now is I'm going to be folding this upper part. Alright, I'll go ahead and fold it. Remember, we notched here and we also notched somewhere here. So go ahead from here now, make a slit, maybe 1/4 inch of a slit, so it enable you to fold it in properly. Okay, so you run a stitch on top of it, after which you now join your two shoulders together. So now this is my back piece. I went ahead to fold in the neck piece, so you can decide to make a facing, cut out the facing and turn it out with it. which is fine. You can decide to pipe it. Anyone that works for you is totally okay. So now I'll go ahead and join these pieces together, the shoulders. So this is my front piece. I also went ahead to fold the upper parts. Okay. So now place it right side facing each other. This is the right side here. Now go ahead and join it to this place. Also do the same thing for this part. So having joined the shoulders together, which I've done, I'm gonna ahead to join the shoulders, two shoulders together. So now the next thing I did was to fold or hem the bottom part of my tops. So I went ahead and hem it. So if you have an iron, please iron it, straighten it out. I will do mine later. Now the next thing I'm going to be working on is the sleeve. We already cut out the sleeve. So now I'm going to go ahead and make a casing on the bottom parts of my sleeve because I'm going to be passing. So now the next thing I'm going to be working on is the sleeve, attaching of the elastic. I'm going ahead to make a casing for my elastic. So now I'm going to be cutting 7 inches. You can decide to work with 6 inches, it's totally fine, but I'm working with 7 inches. I don't want it to be too tight on my wrist. So this is my 7 inches, 7 inches. So this is a 1/2 inch elastic band. Go ahead and pick up your set pin. Then you pass it through the casing made. Then I'm going to draw it out from the other end. Now, having done that, the next thing I'm going to be doing is the sleeve, attaching it to my shoulder. So I'm going to pick up my sleeve. This is my center point, and this is the center point of my shoulder. I'll go ahead and attach my sleeve round. So after attaching my sleeve, the next thing I went ahead to do was to shape my dress. So around this sleeve area, I have some excesses, so I'll go ahead and trim them off. So this is what I have after attaching it. So this is what our cowl neck top looks like. Yeah, so this is what we have. I can't wait to rock it so you see what it's looking like. So do subscribe to my channels, share to friends, give us a thumbs up, and don't forget to turn on your notification bell. See you in my next video. Love you.